Hey everyone, it's Scott Gustafson coming to you once again. I hope you're having a blessed day. This is the last video in the series of managing your time wisely. So this will help you accomplish any goal, any task effectively, efficiently, and most importantly, as quickly as possible so we can get on with our lives and start doing the fun things that we want to do. So let's hop right into it. Three more tips on how to achieve any goal that you have. So tip number one is follow the 80-20 rule. This is also known as the Pareto principle, named after the famous Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. If you're not familiar with this saying, it goes like 80% of our outcomes is a result of 20% of our causes of any given event. So it's up to you to identify what specific tasks you're doing are a component of that 20% and then leverage it as much as possible to boost your performance. Now, this rule is only a precept, it's not a concrete mathematical law, meaning just because 20% of your routine is productive and profitable does not mean you should neglect the other 80% of your routine. The way this applies to business is if 20% of your clients are the result of the majority of your profits, doesn't mean you should neglect the other 80% of your clients. It's not very business savvy, and you're actually going to end up with negative reviews and a failed business. All right, so that's tip number one. Tip number two, we need to track our time spent. So tracking your time is a very important practice to incorporate. Why is that? Well, remember, we're trying to accomplish our tasks effectively and efficiently. Time is our most valuable resource. So you can do this any number of ways. You can use a spreadsheet, you can keep a log, you can use an app. If you have a kitchen timer, do that. No matter what way you use to track your time, record it down. Why are we going to do this? Because if we can assign certain time limits to tasks in the future, if we ever reproduce those tasks, we'll know how much time we need to complete them. So if you have a certain amount of time in your life, in your day, and you know that a task is going to use more time than the time you have allotted, you can either dive in and try to accomplish as much of that task as possible, or skip it and go on to another task that you can complete, you can check off, and that will give you a sense of accomplishment that you're progressing. All right, tip number three, we want to stop being a perfectionist. Now, I covered this topic in another video, but if you haven't seen that video, I want you to go grab your dictionary, open it to the page that says perfect, take a marker, and scratch it out. Nothing and no one is perfect. We are all our biggest judge of character. And it's the fear of appearing substandard in the eyes of others that drives our desire to avoid failure. We all are going to fail once in a lifetime, but it's up to us to identify our failures, pick ourselves back up, learn from our failures, and move on. Okay? So, to cope with this ideology, allow yourself to make mistakes. Practice acceptance and being good enough. You are good enough. Again, use the SMART method. Be more positive, even when talking to yourself. Your body doesn't know the difference between negative and positive words when talking to yourself. So please remember, be kind to yourself. Set reasonable goals. Control what is the grandest misconception humans have and learn to go with the flow. All right. So, bonus tip I want to provide to everybody as well is avoid the urge to multitask. In my previous video, I mentioned that we all try to multitask. I know I covered this, but we all have a tendency, especially when we are in a time crunch, to try and juggle things as much as possible. And when life is moving at the speed of light, we just don't have time to think. But in these moments, we need to just stop, take a breath, okay? But just remember, the more you multitask, the foggier your brain will become. It's proven that our IQ actually drops every time we try to multitask. So do your brain a favor and stop. Okay? Sit down, breathe. If you need to, go outside, step away from people. When we focus on one task at a time, we'll make fewer mistakes, which means less rework, which means more time to ourselves, all right? And ultimately, we will get things done quicker the first time. So the whole point of time management is to achieve our goals in a shorter amount of time and give you extra time to spend doing things in your daily life that what you actually want to do. Nobody enjoys tasks or work, okay? So the better you manage your time, the less time is wasted on trivial activities and the more productive and successful you'll become. So there you have it. That was a total of 16 tips on how to achieve and accomplish any goal effectively, efficiently, and quickly. I hope you enjoyed this series. I'm going to be sharing more information, but if you enjoyed this content, leave me a comment below, like, share, follow. If you're really interested on learning how to accomplish any tasks that you have, click on the link in my profile. You can visit awesomesuccesshabits.com and let me show you how to become a better task manager. And I will see you in the next video. Have an awesome day.